Ladies and gentlemen, I am SidAlpha. Over the past several weeks, my channel has covered the situation involving Alex Maurer extremely heavily. With seemingly new information flooding in on a momentary basis, it was a whirlwind that was exceptionally difficult to keep track of. However, the temporary restraining order that Leonard French filed in order to prevent Maurer from continuing her massive streak of false DMCA takedowns has stemmed the tide somewhat. As such, I had decided to ease off the daily updates as they were getting close to the realm of a gossip column than it was actual news. And as several days have gone by, there has been some additional news on that front, but I deliberately held off until today out of a desire to give everyone a chance to catch their breath and also due to pressures from my day job. But here we are, another week gone by, and we have two main topics to discuss. The first topic is the announcement made by Conatus surrounding Alex Maurer's false DMCA takedown of their game from the Steam storefront. On the 18th, Conatus released a statement that is somewhat lengthy, so I won't waste your time by reading it in its entirety. But within the article, Conatus had the following to say. I have chosen to commission a new soundtrack to replace the music from City Ransom Underground. I believe it's the best chance that the game has of achieving a clean break from any negative association with Alex Maurer's wrongful claim. My hope is that when the creators and I think about the game or the years of our lives that have gone into creating it, we see the game for what it is, a beautiful, if imperfect, realization of the vision and work of many, rather than the controversy that came after. Let me make it absolutely clear, Alex Maurer's claim that the game violates her copyright is false. She is a co-creator of the music with Dino Leonetti and Rich Vreeland. Our written license agreement is with Rich, who subcontracted Alex and Dino. When Rich offered to pay Alex an equal share of the music fee for her contribution to the game's soundtrack, she emailed back, "Oh, that's awesome, man, I'm all for it, thanks." Rich has shown us the documentation that Alex was paid in full. Our lawyers advise us that there is no legal basis for Alex's DMCA takedown claims. That's undeniable by anyone except Alex. But being legally right is only half the story. As a practical matter, the costs of legal action would put console development plans on hold, perhaps indefinitely. We don't have any interest in spending our time and our energy dealing with this matter further. So Conatus is deciding to take the route that is the least impactful to them and their game moving forward, and I don't think anyone would blame them at this point in time. I personally would remove the audio from the game and go after Maurer for the false DMCA, but I'm a bit more vindictive than some, and I do feel the need to set a legal precedent in this regard. Conatus, on the other hand, is doing what they feel is best for them and their customers, and removing the music that Maurer helped create is not a bad thing, nor is it in any way an admission of guilt. Maurer was a subcontractor on the project to create the music for City Ransom Underground, and as such, again, does not have a legal or even moral leg to stand on. It is unfortunate in this instance, as it may embolden Maurer to continue to file DMCA strikes against YouTubers or Twitch streamers for City Ransom Underground content, but this does not give Maurer a legal claim to the content. Remember that. And even if by some twist of imagination, in an alternate universe governed by a completely different set of physical laws, there is still the laws governing fair use and transformative works to consider, which is something that Maurer never even gave the slightest bit of thought to. This would mean that even if Maurer happened to hold the copyright, which she does not, that the videos being taken down are still being hit with spurious DMCA strikes as they are protected under fair use. Regardless, I do wish Conatus well, and I hope their game makes a speedy return to the Steam storefront. Our second topic involves the temporary restraining order that Leonard French had filed against Alex Maurer. The hearing to see if that restraining order was needed to be upheld took place on the 19th and went about as most would expect. The argument was made that if Maurer was complying, and by complying it is meant no further DMCA takedowns, then why was there a need for a restraining order? And Leonard responded to that by stating that the restraining order was necessary as if its stipulations were broken, it would allow the judge contempt of court powers to deal with Maurer's transgressions if any occur. And I will put a link to Leonard's video down below that will explain that in much greater detail. In addition, it seems that this court case will not be as speedy as we would have hoped. The judge has given Maurer until the 21st of August to find an attorney willing to represent her. This will be a difficult task for her to find someone willing to take on the case, knowing how quickly she'd fired her previous attorney and given the evidence involved with the case. From that point, Maurer and her as-yet-to-be-found attorney has until September 25th to file an answer to the court regarding allegations made against her. If she does not, she will risk a summary judgment in favor of Don Thacker and Imagos Films, and while I know that a lot of people might get frustrated by this delay, this 2-month-long delay or more, this isn't actually a bad thing, because while Maurer is trying to get her ducks in a row, get an attorney, and figure out how to combat this, Leonard will be given all the time in the world to be able to tighten his case. So as such, the additional time isn't necessarily a bad thing. And other than that, not much else has been happening. Thankfully, the DMCA strikes have seemingly gone quiet, and as the stipulation of the restraining order, Star Mazer DSP videos and content should have been restored by now, and those channels affected can hopefully get back to the work of producing content and growing their channels. Several of them I found to be extremely promising, and I hope they are able to gain the visibility that they each deserve. I know that this has been a trying time for content creators, but it would seem that the worst is indeed over, and all that remains is to get back to work for some. And for others, the question of Mauer's repeated acts of potential perjury is still a very real question. On that score, I will be discussing with multiple content creators in the coming days, as well as Leonard French, in order to figure out what can be done for a potential class action filing against Mauer for her actions. I will be happy to facilitate those talks, but in the end, I will most likely bow out of that aspect, as since Mauer's one and only attempt to file a takedown against my channel failed utterly, I have no real pony in the race excepting Mauer's death threats, which would not be pertinent to the topic at hand. As always, please do let me know what you think down in the comments below, and don't forget to like and share this video while you're at it. This case still has far-reaching consequences, and those affected do deserve to be kept up to date. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, I am SidAlpha, and I'll see you next time.